Kinda weird, good buddy. What's up with the tail? Hey, wait a minute! You swallowed my lucky charm! Come back here! What's wrong with you? Something's not right. We've always been friends for years. Froggy! Wait up! Oh dear. Yoo-hoo, Froggy! Come out wherever you are. Oh man, where could my Pollywog pal be anyway?
Hello everyone, I am Third Mario Brother and welcome back to Let's Play Sonic Adventure. In the last episode you guys saw that we finished up Amy's story, and in this episode we're doing what everybody's been waiting for, what everybody's been commenting about, what some, perhaps myself included, have been dreading. Welcome to the playthrough of Big the Cat. Yes, it's this big fellow right here who's carrying a fishing pole and wearing nothing but sandals and a belt and gloves, I guess, which, as far as articles of clothing go, maybe not the most essential ones, but I guess I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Anyway, right off the bat here, we can talk to Sonic and Tails.
Quick! We have to find the rest of the missing Chaos Emeralds!
Oh man, doing a wonderful job of that as well. And, of course, words of wisdom from Sonic. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started with this. The reason that a lot of people dread Big's gameplay and don't like it and give this game a lot of flack for it is because it's not at all like any of the other characters. The other characters all include at least some aspect of platforming. Big, however, essentially no platforming, except one time to get one power-up that'll show off when we get there. Big, instead, can do this. Cast his lure. Yes, that's why he's carrying around a fishing rod. Indeed, he is a fishing character, which seems a little bit strange compared to the rest of the game, but I guess it's no big deal. What do you have to say, newsstand lady? Today's paper says, mysterious person leaves a manhole cover open. I hear City Hall is getting a ton of complaints. Sure, it stinks, plus it's really dangerous if someone falls in. Okay, I'm gonna go check it out. But yeah, you guys saw in that cutscene earlier that Big the Cat is looking for his friend Froggy, who has mysteriously run off. And look, there he is now.
Froggy, there you are. Wait, don't run away. What you doing under that car? What's wrong?
And another thing you might notice about Big, well, that you definitely have noticed about Big, is how goofy his voice sounds. The character designers of this game gave him a really ridiculous voice, and I actually think it suits his character pretty well. He's supposed to be sort of stupid and aloof and not really paying attention to very much at all, which, great. I like it. I do like Big as a character, but his gameplay, maybe not quite as much. Anyway, here we are after going through the sewer. It for some reason connects to the entrance to Twinkle Park. Okay, doesn't make very much sense to me. If that's an alternate entrance for guests, sure, but I don't understand how that would bring much traffic to somebody's business. Anyway, this is our first action stage with Big. Indeed, Stage 1, Twinkle Park. And we all get to see how wonderfully unique, the mildest choice of words possible there, that Big's gameplay is. Now, we're searching for Froggy, right? And where does a frog go? Well, frogs are quite prone to swim, and so Froggy finds bodies of water and tries to stay away from us in them. And, as he is our best friend, it is our duty to catch him through, of course, simple fishing. Now, I say simple very loosely there, because this can be a little bit finicky. Once you get used to it, it can actually be quite, easy to find Froggy and catch him, but especially if you're new to it, and especially if you're not the most patient player in the world, and especially if you were expecting running through loop-de-loops and fast action like that, this can be a little bit, what's the term? It can be a little bit frustrating, I suppose. Anyway, all you have to do is wiggle the lure in front of Froggy, and he'll swim up to it. Now, the trick here, to make this as painless as possible, is to throw the lure near Froggy and then wiggle it to the left or right. And then, if he turns toward the lure after that, he's going to go attempt to nibble it. And when it's in his mouth, you want to wiggle it again and you'll catch him. And then, afterward, all you have to do is reel him in like this. And this isn't that big of a deal. My general strategy for this is to hold down... I have absolutely no idea what happened there. Okay, sure. Yeah, and occasionally that'll happen as well, and it can be a little bit frustrating. Let's cast the lure over here. I don't know if that's because I'm too close to the water, or too, like, right, come in contact with a ledge by accident or something like that. I really have no idea. But, occasionally that'll happen as well, and it can be a little bit frustrating. But yeah, the trick to reeling it in, actually, I find, is to hold down the B button, as that's never going to give, you see that meter over there on the right. If that goes past the top, then Froggy will let go. And I think you actually lose a life if that happens. But I just hold down the B button and then tap A slowly, because B lures it in slowly, and A reels it in quickly, but it fills up the meter much faster. So I just hold down the B button and tap A once in a while, making sure it doesn't get to the top. So you kind of have constant progress on top of little quick bursts of progress from the A button until it gets very high. Then I just generally let go of all the buttons altogether, and Froggy got away again. I don't know if that's like a normal thing to happen, or if that was designed to be that way, or if it's a glitch, or if I'm doing something wrong. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, hopefully it gets it this time, because that does happen to me quite often, and I have to feel like I'm doing something completely incorrectly. Either way, it's frustrating, and I'm not a big fan of this gameplay. Of course, it is a little bit overly hated, I believe, as well. People complain about this far, far more than they should. It's only a couple levels in Big Story, so it's not really that big a deal, I suppose. And it's not really that difficult once you get the hang of it, so long as there's no, like, glitches or anything going on. But, honestly, Big Story is bearable. I don't like the fact that you have to play through it in order to get to the last story and all that sort of jazz. And I can understand why people think it feels out of place. But, really, it's not too terrible, and it doesn't make me hate this game like it does for a lot of people. Or so they say, at least. Anyway, there we went and caught Froggy, but it seems he slipped out of our hands at the last minute, which is why Big's doing that weird happy dance thing. Dang it.
Welcome to Twinkle Park.
And now, what we must do is go and search for Froggy again. How terrible that he got away from us. And there is the, I forget what it's called, actually. But, here's another cameo from Cream the Rabbit. I actually missed the one in Amy's story. I'm sorry, everybody, but yeah, there you can see her. Hi, Cream. Nice to see you in your, like, 4 frames of animation for flapping your ears there. But, yeah, another thing about Big that I haven't mentioned yet is that he has actually the most upgrades of any character in the entire game. You saw earlier, in this sewer bit over here, we grabbed a lure power-up for him, and yeah, you can upgrade Big's lures 4 times. There are 4 lure upgrades in total, and they allow you to catch, actually, I think if we go over here, we can talk to another character outside of their story, so let's go ahead and see if that's possible. Yeah, here's Amy. Let's go ahead and talk to her. Now, it's not like a super interesting line or anything, but I really like that, because we just talked to Amy before her story started, because as we saw in hers, she started the story by walking around with groceries after having gone shopping, so we got a chance to talk to a character outside of when their playthrough is actually going on, which I think is pretty cool. But, yeah, there are 4 lure upgrades for Big, along with 2 other upgrades that we'll be getting, one of which is coming very soon, so, quite a few upgrades for him, so make sure to take notes if you're trying to go for 100% with this character. And yes, the Ice Stone. Perhaps we can use it in the Mystic Ruins. Thank you very much, game, for telling me what I already knew. It's kind of funny how it repeats that message. I guess it's just to, refresh your memory if you didn't get it the first time, but it repeats that message after you go to the Mystic Ruins, like when we're already here. It's like, I sort of already know where I'm going, game, but thank you for the thought anyway. It's quite considerate of you. But you might have also noticed that Big moves extremely slowly. Given his size, I suppose this is no, huge surprise. He moved that car earlier, so he's super strong, and he was later the power character in Sonic Heroes. Not the speed character, though, and I think you might be able to see why. Anyway, here's his first upgrade.
You've discovered the life belt. It keeps you afloat when you're in water. To swim underwater, press the jump button when afloat.
Big's got such a bewildered expression in that scene when it's explaining it to him, like, okay, I don't know what's going on, who are you? I don't know. Much as his gameplay isn't personally preferable... Does he climb ladders faster than all the other characters, or is that just because of his size? Oh gosh, I don't know. It looked ridiculous though, but yeah. Anyway, here we are, the second stage of Big Story Ice Cap Zone. Now, Froggy is actually right here at the beginning. See, we just swam past him there, totally by accident. I didn't actually mean to jump into the water. Let's get out of here. Or not. Come on. Okay, this bit can be a little bit frustrating. Oh, apparently that spring brings you up straight out of it. I thought it was going to spring me to the other spring and then repeat what had been happening already. Anyway, Froggy's right there, but you may be wondering why I'm going over here and using Big's terrible, terrible platforming controls to explore the level a little bit more. Well, interestingly enough, Big's the only character who has an upgrade inside of one of his levels. And yes, that level is Ice Cap Zone, if you couldn't have guessed. He has a lure power-up over here, and you have to do quite a bit of exploring to get to it. If you don't know where you're going, it can actually be kind of difficult to find. So, be sure to take note of this, because this place here is actually a bit of a maze-like area. And it's kind of interesting how they gave you such, like, an exploratory feeling area in basically a mini-game story. But anyway, come down here, and we can find Big's second lure upgrade. And mandatorily float to the top. But yeah, in case you were wondering what the lure upgrades are for, they're not specifically for catching Froggy or anything. I'm not actually sure if they affect how easy Froggy is to catch or anything like that. They're actually for catching bigger fish, as it explained. And the reason you want to catch bigger fish, you see that weight counter up in the top left, where it says 0G. That's because we've caught 0 grams of fish. I hope it's in grams, and I'm not sounding terribly ignorant by missing out on some other unit of measurement that I just don't know about. But, yeah, that's because we haven't caught any fish yet. And the A and B missions for Big, because there are A, B, and C missions for every character, in which you can get more emblems and stuff to unlock the Game Gear games, are to catch a certain weight, or certain, total weight of fish before you catch Froggy. And, yeah, his aren't super creative and his aren't super fun, because catching Froggy in itself, I think, is enough fishing just for this game. But, yeah, you need the bigger lures to be able to catch bigger fish for those missions, and that's essentially all they're used for. So anyway, did Froggy turn towards us? Oh, it looks like he did. Can we get him? No hit that time, evidently. Now, one of the things I sometimes have trouble with is also, as soon as Froggy nibbles on the lure, sometimes he'll just float off of it, and I won't get a hit or anything. And I don't know if that's because I'm, waggling the thing back and forth, or if I'm not doing it in the proper direction or the proper timing. I'm not entirely sure. Either way, it's not really ever terribly, terribly difficult to get Froggy on your line, so it's really not that bad. It's just that something being not bad and bearable doesn't necessarily qualify it for, being good or preferable to be in a game, you know? Like, you want to be able to enjoy it completely all the way through, and something like this does still feel hackneyed in, even though it's not quite as bad as everybody says. Either way, Froggy is looking at our lure. Let's see if we can get him this time. See, a lot of it is positioning as well. If you're too close to Froggy, especially, since we got that life belt power-up earlier, we can go into the water now. And so, if you're too close to Froggy, he won't bite your lure, I believe. If you're in the water with him, that is. I'm not sure if it still functions that way if you stay on the land, but either way, can we get him? Yes, we did! There we go, we caught Froggy for the second time. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Let's Play Sonic Adventure, guys. We finally started Big the Cat story, and maybe it won't be quite as bad as some of you imagine. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time when we continue this story.